Hello and welcome to Universe Sandbox 2. So today we have a suggestion asking, what if Earth and the solar system orbited a pulsar? Well, let's go ahead and find out. So as you can see here, I am placing a pulsar roughly where the sun was sitting before. And one thing to note about the pulsar is all the minimum pulsars in the game, like the minimum mass for them, is 1.4 suns. I'm using the crab pulsar because it is the smallest pulsar in the game. Now, as you can see here, Mars and other planets are now orbiting in an elliptical orbit. I did not stabilize the system to make it have its former orbits, so no velocity was adjusted. Instead, I just dropped it in to see what would happen to the orbits, and as you can see, we are crossing a few orbits with like Ceres and Mars. Now, it does have effects on the outer solar system, but it's not going to be as significant since it's not really going to affect the climates very much since they're so far away. But one thing it did affect immediately is Earth, which as you can see, it is freezing over. And if you look at the right hand side of the screen, you can see the temperature is dropping rapidly. Now, one thing worth noting is I don't think there's any radiation, no radiance from the pulsars in this game. There's really only gravity effects. So, as far as I know, this pulsar is not warming Earth at all, and it really wouldn't in real life either, so basically all the planets in the solar system are going to default to being very cold, even if they're incredibly close to the pulsar. In fact, the only warming there could be is through tidal effects. And as you can see back there, the pulsar is very tiny. In fact, it looks pretty much like the background stars. Here I am decreasing the field of view so you can see the pulsar a little bit better, but as you can see, it's smaller than even some of the stars in the background. Okay, so here is me time-lapsing the simulation to see how cold it gets. And it looks like it's stabilized at negative 125 degrees, so a lot of the gases would basically condense into a liquid and possibly even solids on our surface, so it would be raining basically the atmosphere that we breathe. But what's very interesting is you can still see city lights on the planet, so that means we survived, at least according to the game. Now, here is an example of what happens if you place Earth too close to the pulsar. Bad things start to happen. Basically what is happening is there is a massive amount of tidal friction being exerted on the planet. And it's being shredded up kind of like a debris disk or a ring around the pulsar. So you can't really place Earth too close. It is being absolutely shredded and pulverized. I've shown this in quite a few experiments before though. Now, if we place it too far, which this really isn't that far at all, it gets very cold very fast, and there's no real in-between point. I've placed Earth in multiple different places, trying to warm it, trying to find that area where tidal friction can warm Earth, but it's a very fine line. But there's really no point in which you could place Earth close enough to where the radiance of the pulsar, the heat, the radiation, is going to warm the planet without completely tearing it apart or causing a lot of seismic activity. So, Earth would not really be able to survive around a pulsar. At least, in the game. Anyways, I think that will conclude this experiment. If you guys liked the video, please subscribe, and until next time, I will see you in the next video.